anybody that doesn't know you and what you do, what's it all about? What do you do?
What do I do? I am a singer-songwriter based in York. I'm also a music producer, open mic night host, and yeah, I do various gigs and stuff as well.
Well, so you've just got your debut solo single just come out.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say it's a little bit more political than you've done in the past?
Definitely fair to say that. I've always wrote songs before for the band Vinnie and the Stars. This is my first. I've always wanted to do like a solo album as Vinnie Whitehead. It's always been there. It's always been an idea. But every time I've come to do an album before, I've filled the studio with other musicians and wrote songs to be played by people who play instruments that I don't myself play, and made these big arrangements. And so this time I've set myself, and in doing that, I think also you get older, you don't want to write about the same stuff you've done. Been writing songs for Vinnie and the Stars and songs myself for 10 years now. I'm no longer in my 20s partying every night and writing songs about that. I'm in my 30s, and yeah, it's definitely the most political thing. I never saw myself as a political singer-songwriter, but I took part in the We Shall Overcome weekend, which is awareness to anti-austerity, set up by Joe Solo and his team of fantastic people. And it's a music event that takes place in the first weekend of October, and we at York did a couple of gig nights and turned the open mic that I run at the Red Lion into a charity event. And I was so inspired by the whole We Shall Overcome weekend and ethos and absolutely everything, and it felt right to write a song about it.
Well, so would you say your songwriting now, you take a more simple approach, obviously, with less musicians, but is there any music that you're working on going to be a bit more stripped back?
Yeah, yes and no. I'm definitely making sure that all the songs that I write for this project I can perform live, solo acoustic. That hasn't always been the case with Vinnie and the Stars and a lot of the previous material. There were X amount of songs on all three Vinnie and the Stars albums I don't have a live solo acoustic version of, because they've only ever been performed live with a full band and me playing electric guitar, distortion, wah-wah pedal, different effects, that sort of thing. So my main focus is writing songs that can be performed stripped back solo acoustic and live. I think I've added to my songwriting We Shall Overcome. There's some nice chord changes in there and a key change and stuff like that. So the songwriting is developing. Maybe the songs are getting more complex with lyrics and melodies and chord structures, but more simplified in the way that I can perform them, just me and a guitar.
So we're at the start of February now. That's a special month for songwriters, I gather.
Yeah, February album writing month. I have been doing February album writing month since 2013, and it's fawm.org, and you sign up, you make yourself a profile like you do on a social media page, and from the 1st of February, it's all actions go. The challenge is to write 14 songs in the 28 days of February. The first year I did it, I think I wrote 6. The second year I did 14 and released the best 11 on my first solo project, which was a hip-hop electronica album with no guitars in it. So it's never been performed live. It's just like I class that as a side project because it is a hip-hop electronica album. That was another thing I always wanted to do, was do some hip-hop music, and I did that in February album writing month 2014. And there's been songs that I've written for Vinnie and the Stars that featured on Development, Waiting So Long, Cracks and Dreams, Got Enough, and Are We in Control, although a few of them might have had different titles when I wrote them and different lyrics. They did actually make it onto the Vinnie and the Stars development album. And we're a couple of days into February. Is it the 3rd of February today? And I've got my first song recorded, demo recorded and up online, working on my second, so I'm on track.
Do you ever feel that you have to sort of compromise the quality a little bit just to meet the target? Or would you not just put something out there that's average for the sake of...
Well, what my tactic is, that's worked very well, is to get my trusty Roland TR5 drum machine from the 1980s. This thing's as old as me, 32 years old.
Wow.
I make the beat on there. It's got 16 different sounds, and that's it. And you make a beat on there, plug it into Pro Tools, and that's your drum beat. I then get one of my synthesizers, and I'm using the Micro Korg at the moment with the same bass sound that we were using for I'm Not From America, I'm From Hull Live, the same bass synth sounds for every single song, because I've got a nice bass synth sound, I've got a drum machine sound. I do one acoustic guitar layer, one vocal layer, so it's a stripped back demo. So yeah, I compromise on the quality of recording for quickness and to get the song out there. And I usually just write verse, chorus. I don't spend much time doing much musically as far as breakdowns and fills. It's more about getting the chord progression and the lyrics down. It's about writing the album, not finishing it. You don't have to even record the songs. So if I've got a bunch of songs written in February with demos on, it's something for the rest of the year I can use to reproduce, and it's like my notepad for the rest of the year to pick which ones I'm going to use, keep, perform live. I'll perform them live, see how they go, see how they feel live, and it gives me a whole load of songs to choose the best ones and properly work on and produce through the rest of the year. So yeah, that's why it's album writing month, not album writing, produce, finish, record, mix and master month, which it was for me in 2014. I spent every single day writing, recording, producing, mixing and mastering.
I suppose that's the thing about you putting like a lot of layers and stuff on it. Like if you wanted to just release 14 solo acoustic songs, it'd be so much easier.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, and people do that. You don't have to produce and record. There's people on the Form website that just do YouTube videos of them playing live, and they'll post a YouTube video link, or they'll just record it live acoustic. Or Casey Wilson, she takes part in it every year, and she will do a piano and vocal take on a lot of her stuff. So you don't have to go, full blown and do drums, bass, vocals, get the full band in and produce it, and there's it finished. A lot of my stuff is demo, and I only put it out there during February while I'm producing it and working on it. Come the end of February, I actually take it offline, so it's no longer out there. It is just this month. So if you're looking on my social media and stuff about these songs, listen to them while they're up there, because they won't be up there when I start turning them into actual finished production songs. So, but what I did with some of them is we did one of the crowdfundings, and they're good little demos to give away as like little extras in, like crowdfunding and stuff like that. So that might be a possibility.
Well, you just mentioned Casey Wilson. It leads on quite nicely to the next question. You mentioned that you run a lot of open mics and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of talent that not many people are aware of.
Yeah.
So who should we be checking out?
I'm going to give a guy that's just moved to York called Michael Ortega a plug. He recorded 4 acoustic songs with me recently, and he's just been getting them on BBC Radio York and his first radio play and things like that. And he's got a very interesting voice and style and approach to songwriting. So as far as someone new under the radar, just come to York, absolutely fresh. Check him out, definitely. And then of course there's like Harrison, whose album I'm producing, Harrison Rimmer. We toured in September. We're gonna tour June, of course, and Mulholland. Done some fantastic stuff with them, and David Breslin. You know, so there's a lot of people that I'm sure have been mentioned by a lot of other people as well. So, but if you're looking for someone totally undiscovered and new on the scene, Michael Ortega.
Cool. Right, I'm just going to throw a really stupid question out there. In the event of a zombie outbreak, what would be your weapon of choice and why?
My weapon of choice and why? Is it something obtainable or?
Doesn't have to be. It has to be something real.
It has to be something real. Something that I would have access to in this house. I'd probably go in the cupboard under the stairs and get some drum stands. You know, I ain't got no guns or knives in this house. So, you know, I don't think I've got a baseball bat. Probably have a hockey stick, a couple of ice hockey sticks at my parents' house. But, yeah, something like that. If it was something that you had to get your hands on that you knew you had. Probably some drum stands, mic stands and hockey sticks.
And if not?
If not, AK-47, big machine gun, mow them down, headshots, go for the kill. That sort of thing. Yeah, nice machine gun.
Awesome. Just finally then, what else have you got planned for this year, 2017? What's it called for Vinnie Whitehead?
What's in store for me? Of course, I'm supporting Gaz Brookfield on Thursday the 16th of February. I supported Gaz last year and it was an absolute top gig, and we've just been talking that it's sold a lot more tickets this year. It's going to be busy, it's going to be amazing. Me and Harrison Rimmer are looking at a tour in June. I'm going to be hosting the beer festival again in September. I always enjoy doing that. And of course the open mics that I run all year. And come the end of February, hopefully I'll have lots of nice new songs to work on through the rest of the year. And I will be working on an album, but it is far too early for me to say if and when it's going to be released this year. But I'm definitely working on a lot more new music.
Awesome.
Cheers.
And it's only false.